Few feuds have captured the public's attention quite like the legendary rivalry between 50 Cent and The Game. From diss tracks to physical altercations, their feud seemed to have reached its peak years ago. However, a recent revelation from 50 Cent has reignited interest in their intense rivalry.
And so we see a nigga reaching and holding, and we see some other niggas behind him, like 50 Gutter and them, you know, his niggas and whatever. And we see the nigga look like he about to up, so nigga, we just start shooting shit.
In a shocking interview, 50 Cent disclosed that there was a moment when he was so enraged with The Game that he contemplated pulling out a gun. But what held him back? What stopped him from taking that drastic step? This revelation has sparked widespread discussion in the hip-hop community, leaving fans and critics alike curious about the untold story behind this explosive revelation. Join us as we uncover the surprising reason why 50 Cent refrained from pulling the trigger on The Game. The birth of legends. 50 Cent, known for his roles as a rapper, actor, and entrepreneur, was born Curtis James Jackson III in Queens, New York, on July 6, 1975. Raised by his mother, Sabrina Jackson, who was just 15 when she had him, 50 Cent grew up in a challenging environment as his mother was involved in dealing cocaine. Sadly, his mother passed away when he was just 8 years old, leading him to live with his grandparents. Growing up during a time when crack cocaine was rampant in urban areas, 50 Cent's teenage years were marked by hustling and encounters with law enforcement. Despite briefly trying boxing, he was drawn to the allure of quick money on the streets, leading to multiple arrests for selling crack. In the mid-1990s, he started to shift towards music, adopting the name 50 Cent from a notorious Brooklyn stick-up kid named Kelvin Martin. In 1996, 50 Cent's big break came when he met Jam Master Jay of Run DMC. Despite recording albums that were never released due to label issues, his single How to Rob gained his attention by imagining scenarios of robbing famous rappers, including Jay-Z, who responded to the track. On May 24, 2000, 50 Cent's life took a dramatic turn when he was shot 9 times outside his grandmother's home in South Jamaica, Queens. After spending 13 days in the hospital and being unable to walk for 6 weeks, he emerged from the experience with a new perspective on life. The shooting affected his voice, giving it a unique sound, and he returned to music, using mixtapes to share his music underground. His talent caught the attention of Eminem, who signed him to Shady Records.
Cent is the definition of fucking street hip-hop. You know, if you're talking about hip-hop and street, you should have fucking 50's picture on that shit.
And Dr. Dre's Aftermath Entertainment, propelling 50 Cent into the spotlight of the music industry. 50 Cent's debut studio album, Get Rich or Die Tryin', was a massive success. Produced by Eminem and Dr. Dre, it debuted at #1 on the Billboard chart, featured 2 #1 hits, and sold millions of copies worldwide. Following this, 50 Cent launched his record label, G-Unit Records, and released more albums, many of which went platinum. He also signed successful artists like Lloyd Banks and The Game to his label. Expanding into acting, 50 Cent's first role was in the movie Get Rich or Die Tryin', loosely based on his life. Since then, he has appeared in over a dozen films alongside stars like Samuel L. Jackson, Robert De Niro, and Al Pacino. Using his music success as a springboard, 50 Cent ventured into business. He secured an endorsement deal with Reebok for G-Unit sneakers, started G-Unit books, and also created his vitamin drink called Formula 50. It was later acquired by Coca-Cola for $100 million. He also launched the G-Unit clothing line and partnered with Floyd Mayweather Jr. to start a boxing promotion company. 50 Cent has been nominated for multiple Grammy Awards and won Best Rap Performance in 2010 for Crack a Bottle with Eminem and Dr. Dre. He has also received several BET, American Music, and Billboard Awards. In January 2021, 50 Cent moved to Houston, Texas, and quickly became involved in the community, supporting local initiatives like the NAACP Toy Drive and Houston's Christmas Eve Super Feast. He even won the wine competition at the Houston Livestock and Rodeo in 2022 and 2023. Despite his success, 50 Cent's personal life has had its challenges. He has one son named Marquise, born in 1997, and has never been married. On the flip side, The Game, born Jason Terrell Taylor, had a different but equally impactful start. Jason Taylor, known as The Game, was born on November 29, 1979, in Compton, California, into a life surrounded by gangs and crime. In his interviews, The Game shared that he witnessed his parents preparing for drive-by shootings when he was young. His father was associated with the Nutty Block Crips and his mother with the Hoover Crips. Growing up, Taylor was exposed to drugs and guns, and at just 6 years old, he tragically lost a friend to gun violence. By the age of 7, The Game was placed in foster care, where he faced teasing from other children. However, his intelligence was recognized by his caretakers, and he often helped his foster siblings with their schoolwork. In 1989, a pivotal moment occurred when The Game met his idol Eazy-E, the founder of NWA, which had a profound impact on him. Despite his intelligence and positive influences, The Game's teenage years were marked by tragedy. At the age of 13, his older brother Jevin, who was only 17 and had just secured a record deal, was shot at a gas station, highlighting the harsh realities of life in Compton. This event deeply affected him, and he turned to music as a form of expression and escape. Taylor's journey into music was not easy. He faced challenges, including a revoked basketball scholarship due to drug possession. Despite setbacks, he persevered, releasing mixtapes and gaining attention from industry heavyweights like Sean Combs and Dr. Dre. In 2002, Taylor signed with Dr. Dre's Aftermath Entertainment label, marking the beginning of his music career. He adopted the alias The Game, a nickname from his grandmother, and released his debut album, The Documentary, in 2005, which was a critical and commercial success. Despite his success, The Game has faced controversies, including feuds with other artists, most notably 50 Cent. However, he has also been praised for his honesty and authenticity in his music, and he continues to be a prominent figure in hip-hop. During the early 2000s, G-Unit stood out as a leading rap group, with both 50 Cent and The Game being members. The historic birth of the G-Unit. Before their famous feud became the talk of the town, both 50 Cent and The Game were on the rise in the world of hip-hop. Each had a unique journey that would eventually lead to a clash between their egos and ambitions. In the early 2000s, G-Unit was a prominent rap group known for their baggy pants, durags, and snapbacks or hats. They became a cultural phenomenon, and their debut album went on to achieve quadruple platinum status, defining an era in hip-hop. However, by 2023, it seemed like everyone in G-Unit, especially their leader, wanted to erase their past. This raised questions about whether there would be a G-Unit movie, or if they would resolve their issues before considering such a project. The story of G-Unit began in the streets of South Jamaica, Queens in the late 90s and early 2000s. Three teenagers, Marvin Bernard, Christopher Charles Lloyd, and Curtis Jackson, started rapping together amidst the crack epidemic in South Jamaica. After 50 Cent survived being shot 9 times and was dropped by Columbia Records, he faced industry blackballing. Despite this, he persevered and released the mixtape Guess Who's Back, which caught the attention of Shady Records and led to his signing. As part of his contract, 50 Cent was allowed to start his label, and he signed Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo, forming G-Unit. Despite their early success, G-Unit's journey was fraught with challenges. Internal conflicts and beef with other artists, notably The Game, led to their downfall. 50 Cent's desire to distance himself from G-Unit in later years stemmed from these conflicts and the negative impact they had on his career. Ultimately, G-Unit's story is one of rise, fall, and the complexities of the music industry. The original members of G-Unit, which stands for Guerrilla Unit, dropped several mixtapes like No Mercy, No Fear, God's Plan, and 50 Cent is the Future. However, when it came time for their debut album release in 2003, there was a setback. Tony Yayo, one of the members, was in jail for possessing a loaded firearm. This led G-Unit to recruit Young Buck as a temporary replacement. He later became an official member. Due to Tony Yayo's absence, he is only featured on the brink of the album cover, not in the main picture. Nevertheless, their album Beg for Mercy, released in November 2003, became an instant classic, propelling G-Unit to the height of their success. During this period, the Game joined G-Unit, but not before the album recordings had finished. He was discovered by Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine and added to G-Unit as a way to promote new talent. Their first albums, including those with the Game, marked a significant chapter in G-Unit's history, solidifying their place in hip-hop culture. As both artists' careers took off, tension started to rise between them, eventually leading to a feud that captured the attention of the hip-hop world. In our upcoming discussion, we'll dive deep into the events that led to their feud, including the surprising revelations and intense moments that defined their relationship. So stay tuned as we uncover the untold story behind one of hip-hop's most legendary feuds. Now let's go ahead to uncover the true cause of the beef between 50 Cent and the Game. The shocking beginning of the feud. The beef between 50 Cent and the Game traces back to the early 2000s when both were climbing the ladder of hip-hop fame. Initially, there appeared to be mutual respect, especially since the Game was signed under 50 Cent's G-Unit Records label. However, tensions simmered as the Game's star power surged, eventually boiling over into a very public and bitter feud. A crucial factor igniting the conflict was a clash over loyalty and credibility. 50 Cent, known for his sharp business acumen and formidable rap skills, felt the Game wasn't giving him the respect he deserved as a mentor. Conversely, the Game felt stifled by 50 Cent and G-Unit, yearning to carve out his own identity in the music scene. Lloyd Banks and Young Buck both released debut albums featuring the Game, marking a significant moment in their career. He also collaborated with 50 Cent on the hit song How We Do, and dropped his debut album, The Documentary, in January 2005. During this period, their relationship seemed strong, with 50 Cent claiming to have written several songs for the Game's album, including How We Do, Hate It or Love It, and West Side Story. However, due to issues clearing samples, some of these songs were not included in the final album. Despite 50 Cent's contributions, the Game never acknowledged or credited him, claiming that everything 50 Cent wrote was already what he intended to say. This lack of recognition strained their relationship, leading to tension during the filming of the Hate It or Love It music video, where 50 Cent reportedly refused to sit next to the Game in the front seat. Their relationship deteriorated further when 50 Cent publicly kicked the Game out of G-Unit during a radio interview on Hot 97. The abrupt announcement signaled the end of their collaboration and marked a turning point in their feud, which would go on to become one of hip-hop's most legendary conflicts. The feud quickly escalated, with both artists firing shots at each other through diss tracks and public statements. 50 Cent dropped tracks like Piggy Bank and Not Rich Still Lyin', criticizing the Game's integrity and accusing him of betrayal. The Game retaliated with tracks like 300 Bars and Runnin', where he unleashed verbal attacks on 50 Cent and his G-Unit crew. Public jabs from both sides further stoked the flames, with accusations flying in every direction. The Game asserted that 50 Cent was envious of his success and actively trying to derail his career. Conversely, 50 Cent accused the Game of being disloyal and ungrateful. Ultimately, the feud's onset was marked by a clash of egos and a fierce battle for dominance in the hip-hop realm. What initially seemed like a cordial mentor-mentee relationship spiraled into a high-profile feud that gripped the hip-hop world for years to come. As the feud between 50 Cent and the Game grew more intense, tensions rose to a peak, leading to physical fights and confrontations that captured the attention of the hip-hop community. The feud between the two artists escalated with public confrontations, often fueled by their friends and supporters. These confrontations didn't just involve words, but also turned physical, with reports of fights and clashes making headlines. Furthermore, the involvement of other artists and personalities added to the drama, making the conflict between 50 Cent and the Game even more intense. Many prominent figures in the hip-hop industry took sides, publicly supporting one artist or the other, or making comments and actions that fueled the feud. One notable instance of this was the Game's separation from G-Unit, 50 Cent's record label. Due to tensions between the Game and other G-Unit members like Lloyd Banks and Tony Yayo, the Game was kicked out of the group, further escalating the feud. Additionally, both 50 Cent and the Game used diss tracks to attack each other publicly, expressing their grievances with harsh and personal insults. This use of diss tracks added to the animosity between the two artists and their groups. The pickup of the feud between 50 Cent and The Game was characterized by physical fights, confrontations, and the involvement of other artists and personalities, all of which contributed to the heightened tensions and drama surrounding their controversial relationship. The feud between 50 Cent and The Game wasn't just about diss. It was a big fight that really shook up the rap world. The final showdown. At the height of their feud, the tension between 50 Cent and The Game reached its most intense levels, causing a stir in the world of hip-hop. Several major incidents and controversies grabbed the attention of fans everywhere. One memorable moment was when both artists released diss tracks aimed squarely at each other. Known for their sharp lyrics, neither held back in their attacks. The Game dropped tracks like 300 Bars and Runnin' and Old English, while 50 Cent fired back with songs like Not Rich Still Lying and I Run New York. These tracks fueled the feud and became rallying cries for their respective supporters. The feud didn't just stay in the studio, it spilled over into physical altercations and confrontations. There were reports of fights between their crews and even a shooting incident outside a radio station in New York City. These events not only escalated the tension between 50 Cent and The Game, but also raised concerns about the safety of those involved. The feud had a significant impact on both artists' careers. While 50 Cent was already a big name in hip-hop, The Game was still building its reputation. The feud helped boost The Game's visibility, giving him more recognition and establishing him as a serious player in the rap scene. But there were downsides too. The feud divided the hip-hop community, with fans and other artists taking sides. It also shifted focus away from their music, with more attention being paid to their beef than their musical output. Ultimately, the peak of the feud was a tumultuous time in hip-hop history, leaving a lasting impact even after the dust settled between 50 Cent and The Game. This long-standing feud between the two artists had to be settled, but who was the one to take the big step toward reconciliation? Turning points and attempts at reconciliation. Throughout the turbulent feud between 50 Cent and The Game, there were several pivotal moments and efforts to reconcile that hinted at the possibility of a peaceful resolution. However, a variety of factors ultimately prevented a lasting peace between these two hip-hop giants. One significant turning point occurred in 2005 when The Game joined 50 Cent on stage during a concert in New York, suggesting to fans and the media that they had resolved their differences. Unfortunately, this moment of unity was short-lived, with tensions quickly resurfacing, leading to renewed hostility between the artists. Another notable moment came in 2016 when The Game expressed regret for his role in the feud during an interview on The Wendy Williams Show. He acknowledged that his ego had gotten the best of him and expressed a genuine desire to move past the conflict. Despite this, 50 Cent remained doubtful of The Game's sincerity, casting doubt on the possibility of a genuine reconciliation. Despite these and other attempts to mend fences, several factors stood in the way of a lasting peace between 50 Cent and The Game. Ego played a significant role, with both artists unwilling to back down or admit fault. The intense scrutiny from the media and pressure from fans also fueled the feud, making it challenging for either party to take the first step toward reconciliation. Furthermore, the involvement of their entourages and record labels added complexity to the situation, often exacerbating tensions and making it difficult for 50 Cent and The Game to find common ground. Ultimately, despite moments of truce and expressions of remorse, the feud between 50 Cent and The Game persisted, leaving a lasting impact on their careers and the hip-hop community as a whole. Despite attempts at peace, including a public reunion on stage, tensions continued to simmer beneath the surface. 50 Cent's stunning revelation. 50 Cent's disclosure about contemplating using a gun during his feud with The Game caused a stir in the hip-hop world. In an interview with XXL magazine titled The Untold Truth 50 Cent Opens Up, he shared a moment of intense anger towards The Game that made him consider such drastic actions. This revelation surprised fans and sparked intense discussions about the feud's true nature. Following 50 Cent's revelation, tensions between him and the game resurfaced. The game responded with a mix of disbelief and defensiveness, questioning 50 Cent's motives and accusing him of trying to control the feud's narrative. This revelation also had wider implications for both artists. It raised questions about 50 Cent's past actions and how they affected his public image. Some fans debated the appropriateness of 50 Cent's actions, while others saw his honesty as a sign of authenticity and willingness to admit to his past mistakes. 50 Cent's revelation added a new layer of complexity to his feud with the game. It highlighted the deep-seated animosity between the two artists and emphasized the intense emotions that fueled their ongoing conflict. The game reacted to 50 Cent's revelation about considering using a gun during their feud with a mix of surprise and defensiveness. Speaking to Complex magazine, the game expressed disbelief, stating that he never felt threatened by 50 Cent and was unaware of any such incident. He also questioned 50 Cent's intentions, suggesting that it could be a tactic to gain attention or portray himself in a certain way. However, the game later adopted a more conciliatory tone. In an interview with Power 106, he acknowledged that there were misunderstandings between him and 50 Cent and expressed a desire to move past their feud. The game mentioned that he harbored no ill feelings towards 50 Cent and hoped that they could eventually resolve their differences. Presently, the status of their relationship remains unclear. Although there haven't been any recent public conflicts between them, there seems to be lingering tension. Both 50 Cent and the game have been focused on their music careers and other projects, suggesting that they may have moved on from their feud. Nonetheless, considering their history, there is a possibility that unresolved issues could lead to a resurgence of their conflict in the future. Was 50 Cent known for stirring up trouble? Let's delve into some other conflicts between different artists. The king of feuds. Feuding has always been a big part of hip-hop, especially since the Roxanne Wars in 1984. 50 Cent is known for being good at it. Over the years, the rapper behind hits like In Da Club has had some very public fights with other artists, especially Ja Rule. 50 Cent and Ja Rule have different versions of how their long-running feud began. Ja Rule told MTV in 2003 that it started when he unintentionally offended 50 Cent at a music video shoot in New York. However, 50 Cent, in his 2005 biography, From Pieces to Weight, claimed it was because his friend robbed Ja Rule of his necklace in 1999. Regardless of the exact cause, their feud has lasted for more than 2 decades. They have released numerous diss tracks against each other, had a physical altercation at an Atlanta nightclub, and in 2000, 50 Cent was stabbed in New York following a confrontation with people associated with Murder Inc., Ja Rule's record label. A rapper from Murder Inc. named Black Child took credit for the stabbing. In 2018, 50 Cent went as far as buying 200 front-row tickets to a Ja Rule concert to ensure the seats would remain empty. Most recently, 50 Cent criticized Ja Rule for appearing to compare himself to Jesus by tying himself to a wooden column during a performance in Miami. "Look at this guy. Who does he think he is, Jesus?" 50 Cent wrote on Instagram alongside a video of Ja Rule's act. Jay-Z. In 1999, 50 Cent stirred up controversy with his song How to Rob, where he dissed several rappers, including Jay-Z. Jay-Z responded during his performance at Hot 97's Summer Jam later that year with his song, It's Hot. Jay-Z's lyrics included, "Go against Jigga Yo Ass is dense. I'm about $1, what the heck is 50 cents? By 2003, it seemed like the feud was over as they went on tour together and even performed alongside Kanye West, Diddy, and T.I. at Screamfest 2007. However, in a 2009 interview with Rolling Stone, 50 Cent reignited the feud by accusing Jay-Z of having a big ego, saying, "He thinks he's like a god or something." In recent years, 50 Cent has publicly criticized Jay-Z's 444 album, calling it music for the golf course, and suggesting that Jay-Z has only won Grammy Awards because of his wife, Beyoncé. Lil Wayne. 50 Cent and Lil Wayne didn't get along in the early days of Wayne's career. In a 2007 interview with Funkmaster Flex, 50 Cent criticized Wayne, calling him a whore because he appeared on so many songs as a guest artist. Later that year, 50 Cent released a diss track titled Part-Time Lover, where he insulted Lil Wayne and also took shots at Birdman, the founder of Cash Money Records. In the song, 50 rapped, "It's more than your body, baby, damn, it's your brain. You make me want to kiss you like Baby Kiss Wayne, and make you call me daddy like Baby Do Wayne." In response, Lil Wayne disses 50 Cent on his track Louisiana, rapping, "Call me Lil Weezyana Carter, I go harder, all about $1, forget 2 quarters." In a 2009 interview with Rolling Stone, 50 Cent called Lil Wayne a junkie. Despite their past issues, it seems like the two have made peace. In 2012, after Lil Wayne had a seizure, 50 Cent wished him well. Recently, 50 Cent told Capital Extra that he wants to collaborate with Lil Wayne, despite never having worked together before. Rick Ross. Rick Ross and 50 Cent didn't get along from the start. Ross felt offended by 50 Cent at a BET event in 2008, according to Complex. So the next year, Ross released a song called Mafia Music, where he dissed 50 Cent. In the song, Ross rapped, "I love to pay your bills, can't wait to pay your rent. Curtis Jackson, baby mama, I ain't looking for a cent, burn the house down," referring to a fire at a home owned by 50 Cent in 2008. In response, 50 Cent dissed Ross on the song Officer Ricky, calling him a fat guy. Even after a decade, the animosity between them hadn't gone away. In 2018, when Ross was hospitalized after being found unresponsive, 50 Cent made fun of him on Instagram. In a 2019 interview with Big Boy, Ross was asked if he would ever collaborate with 50 Cent. He replied, "Honestly, I'm a businessman. If 50 Cent still had value, I might have done it by now. But to be serious, he just isn't that guy anymore." Nas. Nas was a big supporter of 50 Cent when 50 was just starting in Queens. Nas even invited 50 to join him on his promo tour for his album Nostradamus in 1999. However, things soured between them in 2002 over a feature on Jennifer Lopez's song, "I'm Gonna Be Alright." Originally, 50 Cent recorded a guest verse for the song, but Lopez's record label Epic replaced him with Nas on the radio version, which led to a falling out between 50 Cent and Nas. In a 2004 interview, Nas said, "50 has been saying some things since he came out in 2002. He said I did a song with Jennifer Lopez and I wasn't supposed to because he did a song with her." In response, 50 Cent dissed Nas in his 2005 track Piggy Bank, and he insulted Nas's wife at the time, Kellis, calling her a derogatory term. Nas didn't retaliate with a diss track of his own, saying that 50 Cent didn't have enough hit songs to warrant a response. By 2014, it seemed like 50 Cent and Nas had patched things up, as they appeared on stage together at Hot 97 Summer Jam. Earlier this year, 50 Cent featured Nas' track Office Hours from Nas' 16th studio album, Magic 2. We'd love to hear your take on the feud between 50 Cent and The Game. Share your opinion in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.